Hello, I'm Jenny.
I'm Jay.
Holla. That's our last name.
I think we got some technical difficulties going on.
We did. We tried a new version of going live. So if you're like on a different one waiting for us or whatever, we're sorry about that, but we'll give everybody a chance to come on. I know I'm going to go over here. Let's see.
Technology is great.
Are you going to, I guess you'll just share. I don't know if you're on. Hopefully we'll see you. Hey, Carrie, how's it going? Welcome. So as everybody's hopping on, are you doing anything right now? Or you want me to talk?
Go ahead and talk.
Share it? All right. So just wanted to say welcome to our show. This is the Hollastic Life Show with Jay and Jay. If you're new to the show, our goal of the show is to really give powerful tools that you can use in your life to be able to apply to finance, spiritual, health, wellness, mental, career, relationships. I mean, everything that has to do with living a holistic life. That is what we are here to share. Jay is the resident wellness expert, and I'm the resident live your best life joy expert. We work both really well together. So Jay, you go ahead and kick some off, and I'm going to share this and get some more people on.
All right. So first things first, Holla, welcome.
Holla.
Last week's show, if you missed it, we had an amazing guest, Tara
DeToco.
Sorry, Tara DeToco. If you missed that, she gave a lot of valuable information about kids' health. Even if you don't have kids, it was just amazing, valuable information anyway. So spot on. If you haven't seen that, definitely double back and check that. Tara was awesome. What else? Oh, Great Cycle Challenge. We're up to 50 miles. 50 miles.
Yes, 50.
I got to be honest with you guys. Like, when I started this, I was like, yeah, 100 miles, no problem. Yeah, 50, it's a bit of a challenge. But I think, honestly, that's the whole point. It's summertime. It's like not the most comfortable time to try to get outside, but it's for a worthy cause. So why not challenge yourself? Because basically these kids are basically fighting for their lives. So what's riding a few miles in the heat when you really put it in the grand scheme of things, when you really look at the larger picture. So 50 miles, we are going to get our other 50 done before the month is over with. We're committed. Don't worry, guys. We're going to knock that out. Still have chances to donate. I'll post the link in the video after we're done, so you can still do that. Our goal is $500 for 100 miles. Right now we have $357. So short of the goal, that close.
And we have till the end of June. So even though we're halfway, I know Monique is a avid watcher of us, and she was texting me like, hello, you guys haven't done very many miles yet. So we're definitely working hard towards that. We're going to get some more in this week. Awesome. But also thank you guys for joining us live. If you're joining us on the replay, comment below replay. And if you can, I figured out how to do it from the computer. I know you can drop the shaka, because there's a little thing that says emoji or something, and you can pick it. I figured out you can do it from the computer. Remember to and invite and send us give us those hearts and laughs and all of that across the bottom of the screen.
Pop over the screen.
Because then it's fun to look at, and it's fun even too as a watcher. It's pop, 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 pop all the way across the screen. So be sure to give that. And that also helps bring more people over to the show, because one of the things was last week with Tara's show on the healthy with kids health. One of our friends watched it, and they don't have kids, and she was like, oh my God, I learned so much. And I was able to share with my friend who has a kid, and my friend who has children who don't eat very well. So there are other people that this may be able to impact. And we really, really, really count on you and appreciate you and love you when you share and you and you put all those hearts on the screen, because that's what helps.
And we looking at hearts.
And we looking at hearts. He looks bored.
We're selfish. We want to see your hearts pop up across the screen.
One last update. before we get into the goods is tomorrow starts the Healthy and Happy Reboot. So if you were unable to get on board this time around, Jay and I are planning to do this once a quarter, and we definitely are going to be hosting this again and again and again. So know that you didn't miss out. And woohoo!
I don't have any water.
To all of here, I just spilled it. You didn't miss out. You didn't miss out. And all of you who are joining tomorrow, we are so excited for you. We were having some calls this morning with some of you answering questions about what to bring and how to do it and how to make it work.
I love live shows.
You're a dork. All right. So today's show is getting older and how to like work with that transition of as you age. How do you stay healthy and fit? How do you stay active? How does all this work together? That's what we're focusing on today. And the very first thing is getting older does not equal being old. You set up the chairs.
All right. That feels more comfortable.
Oh my God.
All right. Continue.
Did you even hear what I said?
Yeah. All good stuff. Continue.
The first point of today is getting older does not equal old. So Jay, break it down. Like we were talking earlier, and you did a great job of illustrating like life from baby all the way up to.
Well, I mean,
older.
it's really simple if you think about it. You know, we feel. I don't want to say we feel because there's a lot of, I would say, people who are older in age, who have very young spirits, you know. So somewhere we've been conditioned to think, to believe, to I don't know where this came from, but after you hit a certain age, you know, you're old. You can't do the things that you've done. But a body in motion stays in motion until it hits opposing force. A lot of that time, that opposing force is life, because life happens. You know, think about it. You see kids, all they do is run around. They're running around, they're playing, they're jumping off stuff, they're flipping on your couches, you know, they fall, they hit their heads, they cry, and then they're right back to it. So they're constantly going. Even when it's time to put them to sleep, when it's time to put them to bed to beat them to sleep, you know, they're doing this because they don't want to go to sleep because they're still going.
Does that at night. Just kidding, go ahead.
Because they're still going, you know, it's just a constant go. And even when, you know, you put them in school, like elementary and stuff, they have nap time, which I'm pretty sure they're still shaking around rubbing. Then they have playtime. And then we get older, it's high school or middle school or whatever. When you have these extracurricular activities, we had gym, you know, you got to run around in gym for 30, 45 minutes. You have, you know, all these books you have to carry from one side of the school to the other. You're sitting down for maybe like 45 minutes to maybe 90 minutes, depending on how your school was set up. Then the bell rings, you get up, you have to go somewhere else. If you're like me, you had band practice after school, which was 2 or 3 hours. We marched up and down the field for 2 or 3 hours. So constantly.
And didn't you carry like a big...
Well, no. I mean,
instrument?
some people carry big instruments.
Did. Okay.
I mean, saxophone really isn't that big, but you had your tuba players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you had your drummers, and yeah, they had to pack stuff. And then during game time, we had to wear these wool suits. Like these things were like, even if it was cold outside, we were sweating. These are just straight wool, no breathable, nothing. Like when we were done and we took it off, like we could be wearing a white shirt. When we're done, it looked gray. That's how much we sweat. And it was just like that. So you're burning calories. But it's when you start to hit college, you know, where you're sitting in classes for 2 or 3 hours. You start to eat crap. You know,
like ice cream for breakfast.
I
did that.
Like ice
cream. Because you could go
breakfast.
There and eat ice cream for breakfast.
Ice cream for breakfast. Yeah. Then you have and your study time. You have your, you know, your tutorial hours. Then you go back to your dorm room, unless once again you played an extracurricular sport or you were in an activity, band, football, basketball, whatever it was. And then that cycle starts to repeat itself. Then you get older, you get a job. Then you wake up, you sit in a car to go to a job, to sit at a desk, to get up, to eat lunch, sit down to eat lunch, to go back to a desk, to sit in your car, to go home, to sit on the couch, to watch TV. So you go from being super active to being less active. And we use this excuse. I'm going to call it excuse. I'm going to call it a cop-out because that's what it is. People say, oh, I'm getting older. No, that's not what happened. You stopped taking action. So your body, you start living a sedentary lifestyle. That's what happened. Nothing about getting older. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have all these 55, 60, 65, 70, 80, 91-year-old people who were getting all these accolades. Thank you. Yeah. That's a big word. Sorry. All these accolades.
Hashtag big word.
Accolades, you know, about being in the gym, being the healthiest 91-year-old. So it's not about being old or attaching an age to it. These people decided, I don't want to walk around hunched over. You know, I don't want to be that person who, you know, has to shuffle when they walk through the grocery store. I'm going to be as healthy as I want to be. And that means staying active. I'm sorry if you guys I'm really passionate about this.
It's so true.
So, you know, if you know somebody who says, oh, I'm too old to do whatever, call bullshit. Call them out, because that's a freaking cop-out. A body in motion stays in motion.
Well, I was going to say, going along with that too, I mean, it's like, it's a cop-out, but you have to keep in mind, and we're going to go into this a little bit more next week with the mindset and the words that you use, but like, because that's what you see around you, or because that's what people tell you, you know, when you start to believe that, oh, when you hit your 30s and 40s, your body feels like X, or, oh, when you hit your 50s, 60s, and 70s, your body feels like Y. I mean, that just because that's what your friend or your mom or your aunt or your grandma or your grandpa felt doesn't mean that that is something that has to be available to you. And one thing that I think about with all of this is, as things change and as things evolve, it's like different limitations go around it. And I actually, before we jump ahead to that, I'd like to share a story that goes along with what you were just saying.
Please share your story.
Please share. Yeah, because as Jay was talking about, you know, you go about your life and you're really busy and you're moving, not even busy, you're just moving as a kid, and then you go into adulthood. I've always been very active, and I've always played sports, and I've always been involved in many things. And I had my wake-up call, I think it's probably been about 2 years ago. Because as I started, and actually it probably started like 5 years ago, because when I started building my business and doing all of those things, I stopped playing sports because I felt like I had to sacrifice in order to build my business. And it brought me home a little bit more where I wasn't as active. And then fast forward where I got a national account manager sales job, and I started flying all over the country, and I was sitting on planes. I mean, my job used to be all day long, driving around, getting in and out of my car and going in and out of offices. You know, now I'm on reports and conference calls and flying and sitting more than I've ever sat in my life. Mm-hmm. And especially after taking a break from working out, because I was working out and playing sports and doing a lot of active stuff. And I was like, oh, I can take a break. You know, I deserve it. And I took a break. And then when I tried to get back into volleyball, and I tried to get back into softball, and I tried to get back into things, shit hurt. And I told Jay, I remember we had this conversation. I said, well, I guess this is part of being in my 30s. And did you see how he lit up? I'm surprised you're not lighting up right now. I'm about to smack me with this, because it's like, no, it's not about being in your 30s or insert age. It's not about that. I mean, my whole world and my whole reality had all changed. Everything had changed, and it was hard. That was so hard.
Now, I will say this. You know, as you get older, things do change. But I do believe it's more about being proactive than reactive. Like, yes, you get older, stuff doesn't start to work like it did. So that's when you start to add different things to it. There was a famous football player. You guys got to forgive me. I love the baseball hats, but I'm not into sports at all. It's really the strangest thing ever. But I want to say it was Emmitt Smith, Cowboys. But he said he had a strict regimen for his games. Like, you know, he would do 2-a-days, and then Wednesdays he would do yoga, and then Fridays he would go get a massage. And he is, correct me if I'm wrong, like I said, I'm not big on sports, but since he's retired, he hasn't had any of those other complications other players have, the broken down joints, or, because intensive sports like that do take a toll on your body. Mm-hmm. So there's also a matter of sustaining that level of training, exercise, conditioning, whatever you want to call it, to keep up that level of performance you did. So knowing that, these things are the things that he did to make sure his body was in tip-top shape, performance on the field and off the field. So yes, getting older, I know some people are going to say, oh, well, getting older yes, there are certain factors you need to be mindful of, but mm-hmm. still, if you are proactive towards these things, you can totally bypass hip replacements, joint replacements. Like, okay, you might not be able to run on a track like you used to. Running is hard on your joints anyway. Duh. Water aerobics, or some kind of thing that's easier on your joints. Riding bikes, getting in the water, doing something, switching it up, but still being active. But saying that, using age as the variable to not be active, to why you have a sedentary lifestyle, is unfair to you, because I feel age is nothing more but a bookmark in this thing we call life.
Mic drop. It's perfect, because Lacey was right there along with you. I mean, Lacey said and she was talking about, as you were exactly the same time you were saying it, is in taking preventative measures before the issues happen, and how important that is. And even, how at any point people can turn this around for themselves.
I totally agree.
At any point. Even if it's really hard. I mean, we go back into my story of playing sports. I mean, I think that's really where, we talked about in one of our posts about activating that fountain of youth. It's like, now what? Now this happened, you're aware, you're understanding, and you're starting to see, like, oh man, now I understand why I may feel this way. But it's the mindset about it, and it's like the expectations you put around yourself.
It's totally the mindset.
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you, since this has happened for you, like, very, very recently, like, being on a plane.
Sorry, Bruce just said beer pong. Oh, I mean ping pong. Sorry, that was funny.
That's awesome.
That was awesome.
But going from driving in your car to bouncing around, getting in and out of the car, to being on planes, being in meetings, being on a phone, you've gained weight.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, this isn't anything hidden, and plus, let's be honest, if you have a job that basically feeds you when you're gonna live it up.
Right.
I'd live it up. But what was the difference? I know the answer is kind of rhetorical, but what was the difference when it went from, oh, I have to lose weight, when it was time for you to work out, and, oh, I've been asked to play on this competitive softball team? Like, what was the mind state for losing weight and the mind state for, being ready to play softball?
Well, I think the mindset for losing weight was more of just overall lifestyle, where I just wanted to feel better, and I wanted to, I was okay at the time with being a little bit bigger, as long as I still felt healthy. Mm-hmm. Because I still wanted to drink craft beers and go eat a lot of stuff, and I wasn't willing to cut back so much mm-hmm. in order to lose that extra weight. But then once it changed into a goal that I felt more driven towards with the softball, mm-hmm. it's like, all right, well, what activities do I need to do to support me on the softball field? Because when I went out and first played after sitting on planes and stuff, I mean, my glutes hurt really bad, and I didn't feel very agile on the field. And so I hate running, and I hate running on a treadmill, but I have been running on a treadmill, 2-3 times a week. And that has helped me on the softball field. So there may be things that you normally don't like to do, but when they're wrapped around that end goal, or something that you're really feeling driven to, or you're really feeling inspired to go after, it could just be, hey, I want to fit in my jeans better, or it could be, I want to play tennis better, or it could be, it just depends. But you have to realize where you're at in this life, because I used to practice every day. and I expect to be playing at a level 175, out of 100. And you can't do that right out the gate. So it's the timeline.
I think it's more than just trying to fit in a pair of clothes. I think that's a byproduct once you find that other thing, like playing tennis, or for us with
or
this,
like running a race,
or running a race,
if you're
like
training for a race, or you're training for a big,
or like getting behind a challenge like this Great Cycle Challenge. One of my friends in Houston, she does this with her dad every year because he's a prostate cancer survivor, but they have a Dad's Day 5K every year in Houston around this time. And I think they've done it. I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, Jessica, but they've done it for the past maybe 3, 4, 5 years. And it's I don't know. I've had a mind shift.
It's inspiring.
But I told her this morning, since she posted pictures or whatever, and I'm like, I don't care where I am next year. I want to come do that with you guys. And once you have something like that behind you, it's not, oh, I want to fit in my jeans better, or, I need to lose these 20 pounds. It's like, I want to get through this thing, whatever this thing is, and I want to do it to the best of my ability. Like when I moved here, I gained like 30 or 40 pounds. I was like my heaviest. I was depressed. It was horrible. Luckily, people still think I looked awesome. I don't think I did, but I gained 30, 40 pounds. I wasn't working out. And when I got to the point where I was like, oh, this is too much, I'm buying 38 pants. No. Something has to change. So it was like, my focus was, I need to lose this weight. And even when I was working out, nothing was working. That wasn't working. 3 days a week, weights, cardio, nothing was working. So, but when I switched my mind frame back to when I was training and said, I'm going to kill this workout. It's not about losing weight. My whole thing is getting stronger. I used to do, Jen has pictures. We looked at them last night. I used to do single arm pull-ups. I used to hang from the bars. I used to do stuff like that. But my mind frame was,
got me.
My mind frame was, I want to be strong enough to do this type of thing. And once I did that, the pounds started melting away, because it was no longer about, oh, I need to lose weight. It was a focus behind this thing. And the weight just happened on its own. So
it's just a byproduct of the fun you're having.
Exactly.
It's a byproduct of this thing. I mean, Bruce says it perfectly here, where Bruce says, it goes from I have to to I want to.
Exactly.
It's that shift.
Exactly.
And anytime you want to do something or becomes fun, I mean, talk about some of the words, that you may consider switching in your vocabulary.
Well, I mean, coming from a personal training background, it's like you tell your clients, you need to exercise, you need to work out, you need to eat clean, and we have these mental hangups on these words because we think, we believe they mean a certain thing. So, but if I was to tell you, you need to get some kind of physical activity, daily physical activity in, some kind of daily conditioning, you need to work on improving your nutrition. It holds a totally different definition and mindset to it. It goes from I gotta work out, I gotta exercise, to okay, what can I do today that's gonna get me active? That's
inspiring.
That could just mean walking up the block. We probably walked 3 miles today because they had a community thing in the neighborhood.
And we saw Bruce. Hi, Bruce.
And it was freaking hot outside, but we probably walked 3 miles, and that was something.
Yeah.
And it was, but it's a different switch. It's a different switch. So when you start using these words, you start looking at things differently. If you go from, oh, I'm getting too old, to what can I do, even from sitting, to, I'm going to walk around the block today. Or,
or just think about even asking that question, right? Like what possibilities,
Right.
right? And that's where you're going. But I'm just thinking like, my mind is going like, oh, it could be dancing.
Right.
It could be
oh my
jumping
God.
rope.
It could totally,
be,
guys,
like,
we don't know about this, but girls, I'm pretty sure you know, you put on your favorite song and you'll probably burn more calories cleaning up the house than you would to going to the gym. I'm just saying, I know if Jen has a song on, she's just like
bouncing
just
around, or
all
even if you
over.
have kids, it's like that change in that state, you know, you can bounce around with them and make it a little game. So but you still are getting like the activity.
And it's stuff like that. See, people don't think of things like that as, you know, physical activity. If you bust a sweat, you're getting that exercise in.
But that's the difference, though, I think, between either being younger and maybe playing sports or being active to, you know, aging, whatever. You know, Carrie said it perfect before, you know, I cringe when people use age as an excuse. There's always something you can do.
Right.
But the thing is like, it's like the whole, I got to go to the gym, or I have to do insanity, or I have to do X workout, whatever this is that you picked up probably from culture or maybe your friends. But think about it, like, are you training for something specific? You know, is there something specific you're looking to do? You know, maybe you're looking to be able to have more strength, or you're looking to be able to play a sport at a certain level. Then that training, that activity goes towards building that. But when you're just looking for overall,
maybe we'll do a show about that too, because I mean, in my opinion, my expert opinion, you know, if you're a father or you're a husband, or if you're a mother with 3 or 4 kids at home, and you know you're trying to do insanity, like, what are you really training for? You can still be active, you can still be healthy. Nothing against insanity. It's perfect work. Because I don't want you to be like, Jay said insanity sucks. Mm-hmm. Not what Jay is saying. Let me just throw that out there.
It's a really good program.
It's an awesome.
But are you stressing yourself out?
Right.
Where it's not equal to each other.
Right.
You know, are you stressing yourself out because you missed one of the 5 days that week?
Or, you know, the Black Panther movie, you know, a lot of people were Googling the workouts that those characters did. One of my friends was like, you know, I'm doing this such and such workout. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you training for? These people get paid millions of dollars to look that way. Mm-hmm. You're going to clock into your 9 to 5. Like, who are you trying to impress? Like, what's the end goal? Like, really, what's the end goal?
Just remember that for the whole thing. What's the end goal? I mean, we've talked about that. You've probably seen that as a theme throughout our shows. You know, as you're crafting, as you're crafting. I mean, if you have an end goal in your life that you're working for, and since we're talking about healthy as you age, go ahead and hit the hearts. Hit the hearts on the screen. Send us those over. Hearts.
Hit them hearts.
Because that's the biggest thing. It's like always keeping yourself in check, because it's transitioning maybe from what you used to do to what you need to do now, and really just making it fun. You know, I mean, making it fun. If exercise is stressing you out, then think about healthy activities and just start with something small.
I'm just thinking about something. I was talking to a client, who's also a real good friend, and I was talking about how talking to potential clients is frustrating because, you know, people always have an excuse not to work out, or this, that, and the third. And I love her to death, because she's one of those people who like put me in check real quick, and she doesn't care, which is awesome. I feel everybody needs that in their lives. But she said, she's like, okay, you work at a gym, your profession is in the wellness industry. You have the luxury to do that. And like when she said, I was like, wow, like that's kind of true. Like, I haven't put myself in anyone else's position who's like my mom, for example, was a single mother raising 2 kids, you know, so trying to find time for someone to say, oh, you need to go to the gym and work out an hour at least 3 to 4 times a week. You know, she was like, dude, I can't do that. But she could have done something, you know. And I love it because she's doing water aerobics now. She loves texting me how her little water aerobics class is going and how she loves that. And it's easy on her joints, and she's getting active and she's eating better. So, and I'm not going to tell her age, because I'll probably
she's 29.
I'll probably get a text after the show cussing me out. So, Yeah, my mom's active, and she's doing something. She's doing something. She's forever young. We'll say that.
And well, that's what's so important. And Dr. Dana just joined. Hi, Dr. Dana.
Hey, Dr. Dana.
Thank you for sharing. And if you're just joining us now, I mean, we're talking about the importance of staying active as you age, and how things differ and change and evolve. And I'm Jenny, if you haven't ever watched before.
And I'm Jay.
Woo! So what you were talking about, it was a perfect example too with my parents. My dad just turned 55, and it's so fun because my dad, I don't even know
how I got dragged into this.
He's so fun. So he goes, because he's focusing on, him and my mom are focusing on living healthier and feeling better and feeling light and having energy. And they play tennis, so they want to be able to move around on the tennis court.
That is their thing.
Everything that they do is to help them feel better on the tennis court.
Everything.
Period. So my dad bought plyo boxes, and he's jumping on plyo boxes. So as I told him I was getting back into softball, he challenged me and brought Jay into it as well, to a sprint. And it's a sprint that we're going to do in November. We're going to race each other. And so he challenged us to a sprint. And it's so funny because the last time we sprinted, I think I was probably like 20 in college, and he kicked my ass. So that was 13 years ago. So, he was young 40s. Yeah, of course, I thought he was old because he's my dad, but he was a young guy. He kicked my butt, and he's like talking smack, and, we're all getting ready for this sprint in November. And I want to win. Yes, I'm competitive, but there's a part of me that hopes he kicks my butt, because I can be like, my dad's 55 and he whooped my ass at a sprint. I just think that's so cool. Like, I hope he can. Now, Jay doesn't feel that way.
I'm not taking an L. I don't care. I'm not taking an L.
He's not having it at all. But we're all like,
he could be 13. He could be 13. I'm not taking an L.
This is going to be so fun. But it's just really, it's like whatever drives that for you, and make it fun. So if you find yourself feeling tense about something, if you find yourself feeling discouraged about something that you're trying to get that's related to like a health or wellness goal, or really anything in life, just remember, like, if something's feeling like challenging, like, check yourself, ask a question, because I used to love, not really, but I used to love like fighting battles, like, I'm going to make everything hard. And I finally realized that it's all about, just being in flow. And when things start to feel challenging, you got to check yourself and be like, why? What's going on? Oh man, I fought so hard, and it's so exhausting. But really, the whole thing with all of this is just to be nice to yourself, and remember the 1% better concept.
Stay active. A body in motion stays in motion. And two, it's a mindset. If you think you're old, you'll be old. Mm-hmm. I know some 73-year-olds who you would swear they were 20. I know some 20-year-olds you would swear they were like 85.
That's bad.
So,
yeah. But you can reverse it.
Right. So if you want to be young, think young. Stay active, even if it's just walking around the block. Because walking around the block will probably turn into a jog around the block, or a bike around the block, or something. You'll start to find things that you enjoy doing. So the fountain of youth is staying active.
Is staying active and remembering the 1% better concept. So it's like, if you can just do 1% better than what you did yesterday, than what you did last week,
you're doing good.
As long as you're moving forward,
you're doing
and
good.
We could totally do a live in the future about the importance of moving slower, not faster. And I swear to you that I had the hardest time wrapping my head around how this was even possible. But it's so true. It's just that consistent 1% forward.
What she said.
Yeah. So that wraps up today's topic. Can you believe it? We're at 33 minutes. This is really good. Like we're playing with some different times, and I was kind of watching, so I'm like, yay, we're at 33 minutes.
Now you just told them what we're trying to do.
No, it could be 45. It could be 40. It could be 35. It could be 33 minutes and 33 seconds.
All right, let's go.
No, you don't know what we're talking about. I'm just telling you, yay. I just spent a minute explaining that. He's embarrassed. Is his cheeks red?
Nope.
Cheeks red? So today we had a lot of fun helping you. You're stopping me in my tracks.
No, go ahead.
You go.
No,
you
fine.
recap.
No, go ahead. We're good.
All right. So today we had a lot of fun helping you to figure out ways that you can, as you age, stay healthy and fit and moving around. And really the thing
I would like to,
he would like to recap.
Since we're talking about words, not age, as you continue to remain young.
Yes, as you continue to remain young. Remember, it's about the mindset. It's about the words that you choose.
You're welcome.
And what else? I don't want to hog it. You go.
You're not hogging it. You're doing fine.
Now I'm on nerves.
And having fun.
Having fun with it. The expectations, your end goal, everything like that.
Definitely your end goal.
So Carrie said, I'm 42 going on 24.
There you go. Guys, what I want to know is some takeaways from this. What are you guys going to do going forward in your journey to remain young, consistently stay young? So post down, let us know in the comments. Also, if you like us, if you want to join in on the conversation where we go deeper and some of the stuff we talk about, the Healthy Philosophies group, we have 3 questions, only 3 questions. You have the not hard questions. Like, if you don't answer the questions, you're not getting in the group. I'm a stickler, sorry. There are only 3 questions. Your email, what do you plan to get from the group? Hardest thing. It's easy. So answer the 3 questions. We'll let you into the inner circle.
Inner circle. I don't know. I thought that'd be cooler than what happened. So next week, now I'm getting giddy. All right. So next week, we are going to be talking about Get Out of Your Own Way, Part 1, the power of words. We're really going to break down and talk about these words and the words you use and how you frame them and what you say and all of that. So we're going to be talking about powerful words to use, maybe some dirty words. And I'm not talking like F, S, D, B. I'm not talking about all those. I'm talking about other dirty words that you may want to keep out of the vocabulary. But that's what we're going to be going into next week. It's going to be a blast.
I love these shows.
Bruce says he's bringing Robert De Niro.
Awesome.
Sweet. Bring them on. All right, guys, until next time. See, we just made our 40-minute mark at 37. So see you guys later.
Mahalo.
Mahala. It's still on.